Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time clicking on this video, I'm Stephanie. So as you can see in the title, I'm talking about why trials. We often ask ourselves, why am I facing these problems that I'm going through? Because I pray, I fast, I read the Bible, I apply the commandments, yet God, why are you allowing all these things happen in my life? But a possible answer that I have is that your faith has to be tested to be valued. Look at the life of Job, the life of Joseph, the life of Moses, the life of Daniel. Like Daniel with the lions and Moses in front of the Red Sea. If they didn't have faith in God while going through the trials they were going through, at that exact moment, we all know for sure they were not going to make it out alive. Because it's so easy. It's easier to say, I have faith. But it's harder to go through situations where having faith is your only option. A quick illustration is that to be considered a runner, you need to run. An actor, you need to act. A performer, you need to perform. A singer, you need to sing. Because it's way too easy to say, well, I can do a backflip. Or in my case, because I want to be a teacher, and say, well, I can teach. It's like going to a job interview and saying, I love the school, I want to teach in the school, and I can already teach. Well, they're not going to hire me just because I said so. It's good to say like that with confidence and knowing that whatever you're saying is true. But you need to prove it. You need evidence. They need to see evidence for you to be hired. Otherwise, what would be the point for going to school or going through the process that actually gets us to where we are? What would be the point? I'm not saying that everybody should go to school, but I'm talking about the people who are in school and the people going through a process that gets them to wherever they are, because not everybody who went to school didn't make it in life. Some people didn't go to school and still made it up in life. So we all have different paths. So I'm really focusing on the process that gets us. The key word is the verb, meaning there has to be an action that takes place. In this case, you cannot claim something without proving it through your performance. And this is where I agree with the concept that says practice makes perfect. The more you run, the faster you become. The more you practice your faith through trials and showing it by your performance, the stronger it becomes. Meaning, the stronger your trust in God becomes. So, how do you expect to say to God, I have faith in you, without Him testing it out? How do you claim to have something that's so powerful, that's able to move mountains, without Him testing if it can actually move the mountains? So, and how much faith do you have? How does He know how much faith you have? Because yes, there are different levels of faith. There's level 1 and there's level infinity. Level 1 is when you trust God only when things are somewhat okay. When things are, somewhat fine, that's when I trust God. And level infinity is the whatever phase. Meaning, whatever situation you're going through, whatever problems you have, good or bad, extremely good or extremely bad, you stick with God. You say, I have faith in you, I don't understand, I don't see the way, but I trust in you. And that's why we go through trials. God wants to see how much we trust Him when we're about to be evicted by the landlord. How much you trust Him when you can't pay your bills. How much you trust Him when you had it all and then you lost it all. How much you trust Him when you were healthy and you get sick. How much you trust Him when you have an accident. How much you trust Him when you lose someone. How do you activate your faith during those times? Do you turn to God or you turn away from God? Are you as faithful as Job, or are you as unfaithful as Job's wife, who said, well, God took it all. He took our kids. He took all the lands you had. He took all the treasure you had. So why trust Him in these times? In fact, you should turn against Him. You should curse God. So how is your faith during those times? Trials are simply tests for our every time we overcome them, we make it to the next level. Because there are different levels of obstacles, and each of them have a test we need to go through to keep our faith in shape. Remember, you can be a runner, a singer, an actor, but if you do not maintain a routine of constant exercise, of constant practice, your mind and body will become sluggish. That means your voice will become heavy, and your memorizing skill, for actors, memorizing skill might get slower. So it's very important for you to keep exercising your faith, because even a former athlete can become out of shape within weeks of not working out, because it's not because they were athletes before that they will remain the same forever. That means, well, I used to run before, I don't need to run no more for my life. You can become out of shape no matter how long you've been running. Hence, it's the same concept with your faith. Not because you had faith yesterday that you're covered for the upcoming trials. You have to keep exercising your faith. You have to keep your faith updated, because the less you exercise it, the lazier it becomes until it completely dies. So keep your faith active. Keep your faith upgraded, because every time you win a trial, you win a battle, you go to the next level. You win another trial, you go to the next level. So each time you win trials, don't think it's over, I'm not going to face trials ever again. No, just keep your faith in shape in case when other trials come, because they will come, because we always have trials. Because remember, when you serve God, there's always trials coming in your way. We only rest when He comes and pick us up to go back home in heaven. But in the meantime, expect trials. And to expect trials, you have to keep your faith active so it doesn't die. And that's also why I believe God let us face these trials. Number one, to help us grow, and number two, to keep our faith alive. With all this being said, try not to focus so much on the why, God. Why? But remember, we live by faith and not by sight. So although you don't understand, although you don't see a way, although it's hard, although the problems, the trials, the struggle you're going through feels like it's never going to end, trust and rejoice in the Lord, because He, the Omega, knows why and how He will make us overcome them. I pray that whoever is watching this video, and if you're that person who's lost faith, if you're that person who's lost hope, who thinks that it's never going to happen for you, it's never going to happen for my family, I'm here to remind you that God sees you, God hears you. Keep persevering. It feels long, but God's timing is always the best. If your faith was dead, I pray that it comes back to life, and you keep trusting God. You spend time reading His Word. You spend time worshiping, being in His presence, so that He can show you that, yes, I am still here. I know what I'm doing. Just trust and believe. If you know that this message will bless someone, don't forget to share with them. And if you haven't done so, subscribe, hit the notification bell, and like this message. And you can comment as well. And until next time, I will see you all in